We're going to do one more example of solving a right triangle. In this case, we're given a couple of pieces of information. To solve a right triangle, remember, means that we want to find all three angle measurements and all three side lengths. So, here we go. Things that I know. Angle A, I know that's 54 degrees. It's a good place to start. Angle B is, I'm not sure yet. Angle C is the right angle, so it's 90 degrees. My side lengths, side A, don't know. Side B, don't know that either. Side C is 20. Wonderful. So I usually start with finding the third angle, because that's usually the easiest place to go. I know that angle B has to be part of an addition problem that adds up to 180 degrees. So I got 90 degrees taken care of right here. There's 54 degrees up in the corner, so 90 minus 54, well, what's that going to be? That's going to be 36. So I know that this angle down in the bottom corner will have to be 36 degrees. I'll go ahead and throw it in here, 36 degrees. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to solve for sides A and side B by using my trig ratios. So here's the deal. Let's we'll find side B first. So if I find side B, I'll keep using red. Side B is opposite 36 degrees. But remember, that was a number that we came up with on our own. Okay, so maybe we did that wrong. So I'd like to use the numbers that are given to us. So 54 degrees was given to me in the problem. I can't mess it up because that's what was given. So concerning 54 degrees, this angle right here, side B is the side that is adjacent to my angle here. And if this side is adjacent, well, think about what we know. We know the hypotenuse. And again, relating my trig functions using SOHCAHTOA, ka was adjacent over hypotenuse. Cosine of 54 will be equal to the adjacent over the hypotenuse. I'm going to write that out. Cosine of 54 degrees is equal to the adjacent side over the hypotenuse. So I know a ratio that is supposed to work. I can go ahead and solve for a side B. Remember, when you know the denominator, these problems are a little bit easier. Okay? I need to solve for B. Okay, we'll multiply both sides by the denominator. Take that times 20, take that times 20. B is going to equal 20 times the cosine of 54 degrees. That's an expression that I type into my calculator next. So 20 times the cosine of 54. I hit enter, I get a value. So 11.76, we'll round it to 11.76. So B is equal to 11.76. Now, as I fill it in, B is equal to 11.76. Here we go. Now, once again, now that I know two side lengths, I could potentially use the Pythagorean theorem to solve for the third side length. But remember, there's a chance that we did this wrong, and because we rounded it, we're not going to get quite as an exact of an answer as we might like. So, therefore, we're going to use things that are given to us and use another trig ratio. Still using 54 degrees, the angle that was given to us originally. Now I'm going to try and find side A. Well, A is opposite that angle. And I'm looking for the opposite angle, and I know the hypotenuse. So opposite and hypotenuse, let me think. SOHCAHTOA, oh, that's sine. So I'm going to write out another trig equation that I get to solve. The sine of 54 degrees is equal to the opposite side, A, divided by the hypotenuse, which happens to be 20. Once again, if I'm solving for the numerator, these problems are pretty easy. Multiply both sides by the denominator, 20. So A is equal to 20 times the sine of 54 degrees. Again, that's an expression that I can type into my calculator. And in fact, since 20 cosine 54 is so close, I'll hit second and then enter, bring back the previous entry, and change that cosine to a sine. Oops, wrong one. Sine, here we go. 20 sine 54, I hit enter, I get a new number. So 16.18 is the value I get here. 16.18 is the value of A. And I filled that in my chart of things that I need, 16.18. My last thought is I just want to check over my numbers to see if they make sense to me. Well, angle A is bigger than angle B, which means that side A should be bigger than side B, and it is. That looks pretty good. The other thing I check, if C is my hypotenuse, that needs to be the longest side. Well, 20 is definitely longer than 16.18 and 11.76. I have correctly solved my triangle by finding those three things given the original three items.